In a quiet town, two young men, John and Mark, decided to share an apartment to save on costs. It was an old building with long, cramped hallways and an atmosphere of perpetual dimness. From day one, they both felt there was something strange about the house, but they attributed it all to their imaginations. One evening, after a long day's work, John came home to find Mark sitting in the living room, staring at the unlit TV. He seemed deep in thought. "Hey, are you okay?" asked John, trying to break the silence. Mark looked up slowly and, with a tired smile, replied, "Yeah, just a little tired." Weeks passed, and the tension between the two roommates grew for no apparent reason. John began to notice that Mark spent more and more time locked in his room, often talking to himself in a low voice. One night, John woke up startled. He had heard heavy footsteps coming from the hallway. "Mark," he called, but received no answer. With his heart in his throat, he got out of bed and headed for his friend's room. The door was ajar. John pushed it slightly and saw Mark sitting on the bed, staring into a dark corner of the room. "Who's there?" asked John, trying to look calm. Mark did not answer. His eyes were wide and full of terror. John felt a chill run down his spine. He decided to approach Mark to shake him, but before he could do so, a chilling laugh echoed through the room. John turned sharply, but saw no one, only darkness. Over the next few days, the situation worsened. Mark began to act stranger and stranger. He talked to someone who was not there, laughed for no reason, and often woke up screaming in the middle of the night. John decided to call an expert in paranormal phenomena, a Dr. Richard, hoping to find an explanation. Dr. Richard arrived one evening and, after examining the house, declared that there was an eerie presence in the apartment. "This house has a dark history," he said. "There once lived here a man named Edward, who had lost his mind and ended up taking his own life. It is said that his spirit never left this place." John and Mark decided to leave the apartment that very night, but something stopped them. An invisible force closed all the doors and windows. They were trapped. John took a deep breath and tried to keep calm. "We have to stick together," he said to Mark, who nodded shakily. The lights began to flash, and a shadowy figure appeared in the hallway. It was Edward. With an evil grin, he was advancing toward them. John felt panic rising, but he could not afford to give in. "Go away!" he shouted. But the figure continued to approach. When all seemed lost, a flash of light crossed the room and the figure disappeared. The doors suddenly opened and the two friends ran out without looking back. They never returned to that apartment. The house remained empty for years, but every now and then, someone swore they saw a dark figure at the window, with an evil grin on his face.